Good evening, good evening, good evening. Come on, let's get in here. Everybody, come on in. If you're watching live or if you're catching the replay, come on in, come on in. I'm trying to check my sound right now. So hopefully you are able to watch live and in color. I have a quick message for you tonight. Happy Monday. Happy fun day. Anyway, tonight we're going to talk a little bit about the wealth formula and how to be rich and happy. I think a lot of people always think that, oh, in order to be rich and happy, we got to have a lot of money. But the reality is, you can be happy where you are now and still make more money. Don't get me wrong. We all could use more money. So tonight we're going to talk about a couple of different bullets and then we're going to go from there. So if you're here, type hello in the chat so I know you're here watching live. But I'm going to make sure that I don't forget to give you your weekly money affirmation. And this week's money affirmation is I am open and ready to attract abundance in my life. I am open and ready to attract abundance in my life. I was going to say abundance. I can say words, right? So quickly, if you're watching live, drop in the chat. What do you think you need? Or you're watching the replay. What do you think you need to be happy and rich? To be rich and happy. Sometimes people think they need money. Some people think they need more love. Some people think they need more family time. But I'm going to give you some formula, some things for you to think about so you can put together your plan for how you can be rich and happy. I think a lot of us, we get tied into what society says will make us rich and happy, what we've been programmed to receive. Many of us can say that there are a lot of things we do in our lives or believe in our lives that maybe we learned from our parents and grandparents or those who raised us. Not saying that they're wrong, but as adults, we get to decide if that's what's right for us. And that's the most important thing. So, the first thing we have to do is understand, what does wealth mean to you? What does wealth mean to you? Because if you don't know what it means to you, then anything could be wealth. If someone just says, I want more money, well, I'll give you $1. Now you have more money. Are you happy? And I know that's kind of a crass example, but the reality is most people aren't very specific about what their goal is and what it actually means to be wealthy. For me, when I think about what does it mean for me to be wealthy, that means that I can travel whenever I want. That means that I don't have to worry about regular bills. That means that all my money has jobs and is doing different things for me. It means that I get to live the life I decide I want to live. I'm not stuck anywhere. It means I don't have to work a full-time job if I don't want to and run a business. I get to do what I want. So being wealthy means something different to others. Whereas some people might say, you know what, being wealthy to me means I want to have all the latest shoes. I want a sneaker wall. I want a dress shoe wall. I want a purse wall. Or my closet that look like a boutique. That's what some people want, and that's a part of their wealth formula. But if you haven't decided what your wealth formula is, then how do you know when you reach rich and happy? Just asking the question. The easiest thing I hear from a lot of people is, and especially when I talk to my clients, they just say, I want more money. And I said, well, let's look at what you're doing with the money you are getting. And then when we're able to look at it, and I say, are these things the things that you feel like represent you and are making you happy? And many times they say no. I say, so why are you doing it? And then they ask the question of themselves and say, yeah, why am I doing it? And they're not sure. And they're able to change and redirect their behaviors with their money. So it's important to really kind of look at it. It doesn't mean you're just eliminating all the things you enjoy. But what if you have a habit of doing something with your money that really doesn't bring you any happiness? Would you keep doing it? Do you want to keep doing it? That's the question I always ask. The next thing we need to do, or next thing we need to have or understand in order to really reach our rich and happy goal is, do you know how money works? Do you really understand how money works? This is the question. It's a question I ask a lot when I do live webinars and workshops with people, and you can feel free to book one at saran10k.com. for a large group, or even if it's just for your family. Total sidebar. But do you even know how money works? Do you know how money grows for debt and for income, for moving it along? Do you know how to get your money pregnant? I'm just asking. I'm asking for a friend. And this applies to men and women. Do you know how to have your money have babies? That is what you need to know how to do, right? If you don't know how to make sure your money is growing and having babies and grandbabies and great grandbabies, then you need to set up an appointment. I'm just saying, because I can teach you how to do that. But it's really understanding how money works, understanding how the banks work, understanding how the money flows between you and the different entities that you interact with. What's your mentality when it comes to money? When you receive it, is the first thing you think that I need to pay bills, or is the first thing you're thinking is how can I make this money make more money? It's two different mindsets, and you have to decide what that means for you. What will that be for you? The other thing is having goals and priorities. If you don't have any goals and priorities with your money, guess what happens? I talk to people all the time who get periodic lump sum payments for various reasons. Folks who get tax refunds, people who get they get stock options, or maybe they are the way their pay is set up. Maybe they're on a commission base and they get commission monthly or quarterly, and they get large sums of money. Well, what happened? And then they get the money and they look up and they say, I wonder what happened to all my money, because their money did not have a job before they got the money. If your money is unemployed when you receive it, then guess what? It's going to just kind of disappear, and it kind of dissipates. It's like magic. It's like that dust you spray, and then next thing you know, you had a handful of dust, but as soon as you open it, it's all gone, because your money didn't have anywhere to go. And that's where automating money going into different accounts for specific reason comes into play. Being strategic about what and how you want to do things. Not just paying bills as soon as you get your money when you get it. No one's telling you not to pay your bills. I'm telling you to figure out a way to make your money grow before you pay your bills. It's a different mindset, right? And so those are the things we have to do. Set a goal. If you're someone who, it's January, it's the end of January, the IRS has started accepting 2022 tax requests, and a lot of folks who are expecting refunds are filing. If you know you're getting a refund, then have a smart plan for it. And it's not always buy this, spend this, pay that bill. It may be that this year should be the year that you take that money and you put it in a place that it will grow, so that you're not constantly waiting for a tax refund to have additional fund. Just some information and education for you, not specific advice for your situation, but something to think about. Why are we always spending our money? Most of us were taught to go to school, get a good job. That job will pay your bills. We get paid, and the first thing we do is we run and we pay our bills. Where is the money we're putting together for our future? Where is the money that is planned for something specific, not just a vacation? Where's the money that's planned for your retirement? Where's the money that's planned for your world travel, if that's what you like to do? Where's the money that is set aside for you to buy the extravagant things that you want, so you do not use credit and pay compound interest on luxury items? Just giving you things to think about. And how are you investing in yourself, right? I talked about that at length last week, where we talked about maybe really getting into some training and courses and educational things that will help you to uplift your mind and make you stronger. But you have to invest in yourself, either mentally, physically, spiritually. You have to take the time to decide what that investment looks like. And it's not always money. It could just be time. It could be just making sure you get up and you do 10 to 15 minutes of prayer or meditation, and doing a 10 or 15-minute walk. It doesn't have to be an hour, 2 hours of hard body workout, but you can put in a little bit at a time. And oh, by the way, the next thing is my favorite thing to talk about: the beautiful and amazing and incredible budget. Why? Because you got to know where your money's coming from and where your money's going. If you don't do it, you can have money disappear. Case in point. Let me give you an example. There are some people, I won't call any names, so we'll call them some people, who get paid on Friday. They didn't have a budget. They didn't have a plan. And guess what? Before Sunday was over, they didn't have any more money from their paycheck. And then Monday came, the bills weren't paid. Things are out of order. Things are disheveled because it was Friday night and they were like, I forgot the name of the guy who sang the song. It's Friday night. I just got paid. Party hunting, feeling all right. They were out party hunting, having a good time, hanging with their friends, doing whatever it is. And there's nothing wrong with that. But you got to have a plan when you're an adult to make sure that all the other things that you need to do are in place. So if we're party hunting and doing all those other things before we're making sure our financial house is in order and making sure that our finances are in order, maybe sit down with yourself and have a conversation and then meet with me, because guess what? I'm not here to make you feel bad. I'm here to give you strategies and ideas on how you can level up and do better with your finances. Now, the other thing is, if let's say you already have a plan, you have a budget, you have these things in place, the next thing is that sometimes we need to realize or own that maybe we need to just make more money. Because there are instances where you're just not making enough money for whatever reason. Maybe you've built up a lot of debt and you do need to bring in some money, more money. Or maybe things have changed in your life, your family. Maybe you had a couple more kids, or now you're a blended family, or one kid's in college and there wasn't enough scholarship money and financial aid, and you need more money because you're putting more money towards education and you still have a household to run. There's lots of different reasons that people need more money. Or maybe, unfortunately, you've gone through a divorce or something to that effect, and now your income has gone in half, and you have to figure out how to make that work. And so in those instances, you may need to find a way to make more money. Now, and decrease some of your expenses to the best of your ability. But really, really taking the time. I gave an example on another live that I do on Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. Shameless plug, meet me at 8:30 on Thursday on YouTube, Millionaire Ladies Mob. But one of the examples on decreasing your expenses, there are a lot of things that most people take for granted that they can reduce the cost on. One being, if you own a home, go and shop your homeowner's insurance, your car insurance. Those are some of the simple things. I mean, I don't advocate for it, but if you can get a better deal for your cable and internet by changing providers, when there's a new special every 2 to 3 years, then why not? You're the customer. You're trying to maximize your dollar. That's the most important thing to do. I have a whole lot of friends that are in what we call like cable-free lifestyle. Shout out to my college friend, Robert Sinclair, who that's what he does. He helps people go cable-free. And then the other thing is, if you own a home, if you're in an area where there's a decreased property value for any reason, and it has to be kind of significant. It can't be like $10,000. Be like 50, 60, 75, between 50 and 100,000 decrease. You may want to go and look and see at your state assessment process to see if you can get reassessed in between the period. So for example, where I live in Maryland, they do the assessment between, I think it's 3 or 5 years, whatever it is. But I know at one point I was able to go down to the state assessment office within a year of the assessment and say, no, my property value is much lower than what you're assessing it to be. You need to lower my taxes. And so I was able to get my property taxes lower. Now this works in reverse. So don't go down there if your property values increase, because they will raise your taxes faster. So I'm just saying it does work, but don't get yourself set up, right? But those are the things that really matter. The other thing is to make a plan. And I'm not going to say make it by yourself. Get with someone who's a professional who does it, who sees more than just their own personal finances. And that's one of the things that I think we all think we can work it out because we got an idea, we got some information, we've seen some TikTok videos, you watch my YouTube videos, you feel smart because you are. But sometimes it's best to just consult with a professional, consult with someone who is in the field, who's doing it all the time to help you get it together. I actually gave one of my sorority sisters this example. I saw it at one of our Virginia State events. Shout out to VSU. And I was telling her, I said, listen, if you're an IT professional and all you do is say, maybe you do IT networking and you set up home networks and that's your full-time job. And then one of your friends calls you and says they found a do-it-yourself kit and they're going to do it themselves and they go to do it. And then guess what happens? You end up having to go help them fix it anyway. Not because the person wasn't smart enough, but because they don't have the experience that you have in doing the job. It's the same thing with working with someone who's in the financial field. It's just like trying to get in shape before you go get a personal trainer. It doesn't make sense. So don't everyone says, I'm going to get my finances together before I meet with you. Why? That's what we're supposed to do together. If you could get them together in a great way, then why would you ever need to get with anyone? So just go ahead and get with someone. Get help. If it's me or one of my colleagues, I'm happy. If you're like, Saran, I know you too well. Maybe I don't want you to see what's really going on. I'm fine with that. I'll refer you to one of my colleagues, but I have a fiduciary responsibility not to tell anybody your specific information. So just do that. Do it. And then, of course, I'm always going to tell you to protect your wealth. Protect it, protect it, protect it. And you got to have life insurance and health insurance. You got to have an estate plan. And I'll probably have a video much longer and much detailed on those too. But you got to have those things first and foremost in order. Not having them is not only detrimental to yourself while you're alive, but it creates havoc in your family's life when you're no longer here. And the other thing is you got to stay disciplined. It's like a good workout routine, a good eating plan. I don't really like to use the word diet. A good eating plan, a good regimen for spiritual activities, a good regimen for spending time with your family and your spouse and those you love. You want to do it every day. You wouldn't build a relationship with someone. How do you think you would build a relationship with someone if you only spent 5 minutes a day with them? You probably would take a really long time. So that's the same thing. We want to spend some time with our finances, spend some time understanding it, spend some time reading some books about how finances work. And I always try to recommend books throughout some of my videos, and I'll have some new ones coming in the future. But have that plan. And then, of course, not last but not least, give back to the level that you feel led to give. For some people, based on their religions, they give 10% to their church. Some people give to their synagogue. Some people give to their mosque. Some people just give to foundations and to their universities, or they start college scholarship funds. You give at the level you feel comfortable giving, but it's important to consider that as a part of your process with your money, because after you got your money all pregnant and the babies start coming with your money, then you're going to have lots more money than you expected. And you may want to give out of your abundance. That's the biggest thing. Give out of your abundance and not out of your lack. If you can hardly make your bills, then probably giving shouldn't be the top thing that you're doing. You should be getting yourself together. Lack attracts lack. Abundance attracts abundance. So keep that in mind. The more you have, the more you can give. When you don't have, sometimes that lack of, I have to give this, it hurts. And then you receive nothing because you gave out of lack, and lack is coming back to you. It's just energy. We give and receive. So that's all I really have today. But I'll be back again Monday, 8:30, same time, same back channel. And we'll be talking again about all things money and ways to do things. I'm going to be going a little bit deeper over the next couple of weeks, but we'll be here on Mondays. And don't forget, I'm live on Thursdays at 8:30 on YouTube, Millionaire Ladies Mob, with two other financially professional women, and we are going to be talking. We talk about all kinds of topics, but it's conversation style. So it's not just me talking to you. It's us talking to each other and talking to you. So you get the best of both worlds. And don't forget, your weekly money affirmation this week is, I am open and ready to attract abundance in my life. So go out there and attract that abundance. Abundance attracts abundance. Bye.